don't know if the screen was black for y'all or not. But, oh well. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Another opportunity, another day. If you are on the wake up list, it's another day. Another day. All glory to God. I give thanks and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I give thanks to God for the modern day apostle. I give thanks and praises to God for all ministers and brethren that are alongside him. And I just want to give thanks to all my brothers and sisters that will watch this video, whether you're in the faith or not. I've been praying for y'all. I've been praying for y'all. I've been praying that the Lord's will be done in your life. You know, not your will. May the Lord's will be done in your life, okay? All right, Sister Paulette came through and added that little piece yesterday. And what's interesting is that I've been saying that in my prayers amongst for myself and the people around me. I've been saying, like, you know, Lord, allow your will to be done in my life. So she was right on time with that. And it was a very gentle reminder that, you know, you want the Lord's will to be done in your life, not your own will. Because sometimes when we deal on our own wills, hey, Sashay, hey, Sashaya, and Tanya. Y'all got me out here like a substitute teacher. Allow the Lord's will to be done in your life. We have another opportunity. You know, I've been praying. One of the things that was a part of my devotion this morning was, you know, being yourself. Being yourself. Being exactly who you are. And that has been something that I have kind of been, I don't know, I guess you can, make up your mind, sir. Make up your mind. That's something that I wouldn't say I struggle with, but it's just something that I'm kind of learning more about myself. The older that I become, the more I learn about myself. And that just comes with life. In life, you gain more experience. In life, you gain more experience. In life, you learn more. You develop more. You become more. You know. And sometimes being a mom, I see, like, I relive my childhood through the eyes and lens of my son. And I see, like, when I was his age, how, like, everything just seems so pure. And it's not until you get older that you realize that things aren't as pure as they seem or appear to be. And that's the reality of life. And sometimes that's the bummer of life. Hey, Life of Paulette, that's the bummer of life, is that you start to see things for their imperfections. When you're young, you see everything as purity. You see everything through the lens because it's fresh to you. It's it's just new to you. This is your first time being here. Then once you get older, you get a little seasoned, you get 30 years, 20 years. Most of the time when you get around your 30s, that's when you really, like, life really starts to sit in and you be like, wow, like this is it right here. And now that I am where I am now, and I realize that I still have a long way to go, but sometimes I hide myself, or I try to be as even on the conversation so that, good morning, so that way I don't ruffle any feathers. And I'm starting to realize that, nah, sometimes if you are meant to be the storm, you got to be the storm. If you are meant to be the flood, you got to be the flood. If you are meant to be the tornado, you got to be that. You got to be that. And you got to be that unapologetically. You can't sit around and be worried about Other people complaining about you being the flood. Other people complaining about you being the tornado. Other people complaining about you being the strong wind that came and knocked down the three little pigs' little houses, okay? You gotta be that. If that's the part of the story that you are in, you got to be that. And you gotta do it. Because no one, who else is gonna do it? And I got to this place this morning of understanding the power of embracing who you are through how God has designed you to be, by not people pleasing, by not trying to accommodate everybody, by calling people out. You know, you don't have to do it rudely. You don't have to be rude about it, but being real and honest with yourself, and stop minimizing yourself for others. You know, do you think people care when they disrespect you? Do you think people care when they say, like, think about it. If people have the confidence, and let's just use this for YouTube purposes, if people have the confidence to get into your comments on your live stream or on your video and dump or leave whatever it is that they leave, why can't you have the confidence to speak up for yourself and say what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept? And that is something that I'm learning. And literally my devotion this morning was about that. It was about, what would you do if you were seeking to please God and not the human family? And many of us, we get online and we make it sound so pretty, and we say, oh, I'm here to please God. I could care less what people think about me. Well, if that's the case, then everybody should have a picture up of themselves. If that's the case, then everyone should have a social media page. If you didn't care what people thought about you, why don't you have a picture of yourself up? Huh? If you didn't care about what people thought about you, then why aren't you a content creator? Because we all have a story to tell. We all have experiences. There are experiences that Sashay has. She's younger than I am. There's experiences that she has that I have never had. And guess what? Sashay is a content creator. Y'all go over there and subscribe to her channel. And she shares her life through her lens. So when we say, like, oh, I don't care what people think, then live it, be it, show it, express it, and do it with a smile. Even when it comes across harsh, even when it comes across rigid, even when it comes across too much, you're never too much for the community God has for you. You're never too much for the people that love you. You're never too much for the people that want to be around you. When the people around you really, truly have good intentions for you, you will never be too much for them. Never. They're going to want to be around you. They're going to want to talk to you. They're going to love your too much. They're going to understand and respect where your too much comes from. And when I was journaling this morning, if you guys want to know the journal prompt for today, you can go to my social media page, Elvira Valdez, and on my I'm going to post, I'm headed to church, so I didn't have time. I had to get up, do my morning routine. I kind of posted a little bit on my story. Hey, social media currency. I posted a little bit today on my story, and I couldn't really finish, but I will finish today. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I will post that on my story, but I just want to share that because that was something that I was writing to myself this morning. And I can't remember the journal prompt verbatim because I don't have my other phone where I could pull it up. But the journal prompt basically was, what would it look like if you seek to please God and not the human family? And the first thing I wrote is, I would be peaceful. I would have peace in my heart. I would pay attention to what the Lord is saying and not what everybody else is saying. And by me having that peace, it will calm the noise from the outside world, because everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a thought piece. Everybody has a thought. Everybody does. And no one is better than the other person because they have a thought. No. It's just you have a thought, I have a thought. And sometimes our thoughts don't agree. Just because my thought opposes yours doesn't make it a bad one. It's just one that we don't agree with. And we move on. And you can disagree with people respectfully. That's what debates are. Yeah, people get heated during debates. People get passionate during debates. People get a little, bent out of shape during a debate. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you are of bad news. Sometimes you have to be that, because if you don't, then you're not fulfilling the purpose. And I just was thinking about that this morning as I was writing. I didn't want to come on live. I didn't want to make this video. I didn't want to talk to you guys today. No, I didn't. I didn't. Because when I get into this zone of tapping in with God, I feel elated. I feel light. I feel enlightened. And I kind of want to just harvest it. And, I was like, nah, I'm not going to talk. And then as I was driving, and it came to me, it said consistency. On Sundays, you go live on your way to church. You need to continue your consistency. And I said, okay. And then as I'm pulling out the phone, I'm like, okay, what are we going to talk about? I was like, we're going to talk about what you journaled about this. And last night, my journaling was about letting go and allowing God to fulfill me and allowing God's light to shine. And then at my temple, the service, the broadcast that we were instructed to watch was TLG 796 through 800. That's a good broadcast. And it hit a lot of good points. And I was listening to that this morning. And I was just getting fed so much before I scrolled on my phone, before I talked to anybody on the phone, before I did any of that. I haven't even, you guys are the first people outside of my son that I have spoken to today. I don't plan these sessions. They just happen. And then I realized that in my mind, in my spirit, I have always been longing to have this connection to God has always been within me. I've always wanted to seek it. But that's the desire. That's what it's supposed to be like. There's a lot of comfort in this world, but there's not a lot of fulfillment. A lot of the fulfillment that I have gotten in this world has came through a spiritual source, God. My relationship with God has given me more fulfillment than anything. Yes, I feel, it's the things of this world is like cheap fulfillment. You get a new car. Ooh, you love it. It feels good. By the third year, you like, okay, it's just a car. You get a new house. Ooh, you love it. 5 years go by, okay, it's just a house, Then you get a new living room set. Some people got a living room set that nobody sit on, just sitting there collecting dust. You just spent all this money on a living room set that's just sitting there, but it felt good when you got it. It looked good in your house, but don't nobody sit on it. It's just sitting there collecting dust, and it feels good in the moment. And then as the years go on, that wears off, and then you have to find something else. Then you have to replace it with something else. And the more I grow in Christ, the more I'm learning that this fulfillment that I have this morning, I can have with me always. If I'm broke, if I'm rich, money does answer for a lot of things, if not all things. But the fulfillment and the contentment and the peace that I have in my life right now is not something that you can buy. A sound mind cannot be bought. A full heart cannot be sold. So you have to really tap in and be who exactly you are to be. I tell you guys all the time, and I think y'all got me kind of mixed up in your brains. When I say I'm sensitive, that means I can feel the subtleties of conversations. Not that I'm sensitive if you come on my channel and you say, ew, I don't like yellow. I'm not that type of sensitive. I'm not. You gotta think deep. When you talk about me, you gotta get deep. I'm not talking about, you said I don't like locks and I got locks. You know, I don't like black people. I don't like people with black glasses and I'm wearing black glasses. I'm not sensitive on that level. I'm sensitive on the level where I can finally tune into a conversation and pick up the mannerisms or the behaviors or how something is said and be able to pick up on that and internalize it. That's not something that I wish I could do. I don't want to do it because it's not comfortable doing it. Especially when you have to bring it to a collective of people and they don't believe you, or they think that, oh, you just, that's annoying. It's actually very annoying. So when I say that I'm sensitive, I'm not saying that, oh, you say something, I'm offended. No, that's ludicrous. That's crazy. I'll be wasting a lot of my life force concerning myself about what everybody said. Oh, she said this, I'm offended. No. When I say that I'm sensitive, I'm saying that I pay attention to a lot. I'm very observant. That causes someone to have a sensitivity to their environment, to be very observant of their environment. Most men are very observant of their environments. A lot of men are. That doesn't mean that they wouldn't consider that to be sensitive. So, like I was saying, the more that I'm learning, I share with you guys, like, I'm very reserved in person. I'm very reserved in person. You guys get a very, sit down. You guys get a very candid viewpoint of myself. But when you see me in person, when you talk to me on the phone, I'm very quiet. I'm listening. I'm paying attention to the conversation. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you guys take what I had to say in good taste. And, I hope you take what I had to say in good taste. And if you didn't, oh well. I am living unapologetically me. I'm living me. If you don't like what I say, if you don't like what I do, if you don't like who I am, that's on you, not me. I don't know what got in me this morning, but that's how I'm rocking out. That's how I'm rocking out, and it is what it is. I pick up on things, I pay attention, and I know if the intent behind what was said was authentic or not. And please do, oh my God, it just came to me. Please do not take this video as it ain't about you, okay? Please. Please, I don't like you that much. It just came to me. I'm like, it's a, hold on, no. No, please don't think that. I don't like you that much. No, that's a joke. But no, this video isn't about anything, anyone. Let me say that. It's not about anyone. It's about myself and realizing that I gotta be me. I gotta be me. Thank you, Shelly. Thank you, social media currency. Thank you, Paulette. Thank you. Stay focused. Absolutely. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you. Tanya Bond, Sashay. All right, guys, we made it to the church house. Simple me. Hi, sis. Hi, my Jamaican sister. How are you? All right, y'all, we made it to the church house. We going in here, praise the good Lord, have a good word. And I pray you all took this video with good taste. And if you didn't, oh well. Try again another day. I love y'all. And I hope you rewind the tape and play it back for you.